Hello, America, and welcome to another edition of the Thrive Time Show. On today's show, we are joined by the founder of Boom Mobile, who joins us to share his story of how he built Boom Mobile and how he believes that he can reduce your smartphone bill by up to 30%. Is he telling the truth? Is he full of crap? Is he unable to have a bowel movement as a result of chronic constipation, which would cause him to literally be full of crap? All of this and more on another exciting edition of the Thrive Time Show. In other news, traffic may be bad in your local community, and the weather may turn for the worse. Socialists are lazy morons that do not deserve the right to vote. Donald Trump said something that offended somebody.
Tonight, we renew our resolve that America will never be a socialist country.
All of this and more on yet another edition of the Thrive Time Show.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrive Time Show.
Now, 3, 2, 1, here we go!
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here.
Yes, 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 and yes. Steve, it's normally ecstasy when Dr. Z is next to me, but today you and I are just going to have to create that ecstasy with just you and I and Dr. Breck and the incredible founder of Boom Mobile, Jeff Holley. Is it possible to recreate that kind of magic without Dr. Z being here?
I know you and I can.
Okay.
We'll try.
Let's get into this here. So, Jeff, welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, for the listeners out there that don't know what Boom Mobile is, Boom Mobile, what is Boom Mobile?
So Boom Mobile is a mobile phone service provider. We have contracts with all the major wireless providers, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile. It's just the fact that you get to come to us and you get a service that you're used to having 24/7, but just done a little bit better and a little bit cheaper.
And by the way, a little pro tip: you just want to eat that microphone like it's a spiritual conquest or something, because that thing is very sensitive when you're close to it. So the Boom Mobile business, Breck, who do you get your cell phone through right now?
Currently AT&T.
AT&T. Should we even say cell phone, or should we say who do you get your smartphone through?
You know, it's crazy. It's the most Googled word is cell phone.
Okay, cell phone. Okay, yeah. So your plan is through who again? AT&T.
It is.
Steve, who are you? Who's your phone carrier?
Verizon and T-Mobile.
Verizon and T. Why do you have 2 carriers?
It's got a burner.
I got 2 phones, one for the plug and one for the load. Haven't you heard that song? Come on.
No.
One's for my drug dealer and one's for my chick. I'm just kidding.
For everybody out there, if you're curious what Steve does for a living, he does not in fact deal drugs. He is in fact an actual mortgage banker.
Yeah.
And we do not condone drug use on this show, nor do we know what that song is.
Sometimes I go to areas of the country where Verizon service is not good or where T-Mobile's not good, and then I just always have a backup. I got a backup phone.
What do you pay per month for your phone bill, Steve?
Well, now that my son is in the Navy in Japan, I pay about $800 a month because every day he activates a travel pass for $10.
You pay $800 a month?
Ish.
What do you pay, Breck, per month?
I think it's about $150
for your phone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've got, it's not just my phone, but the family and, yep.
Okay.
So my wife and my daughter.
And I'm with T-Mobile, but I have no idea what I pay.
Yeah, it's all automated, so I think it's about $150.
No idea. I have no. So what I'm going to do is on today's show, Steve, we've got Jeff Holley here for about 20 minutes. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask the rude questions that people wouldn't dare ask.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of times you have people on a show. I see it a lot. Remember when Tom Cruise hopped on the Oprah show?
Yeah.
It was literally perched on the couch, prancing around, talking about how excited he was to get married or something.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that.
No?
You know how sometimes you have people
I was ready
that
to
hop
jump on the desk.
You know how people get on the Oprah show to do almost like an apologetics tour where they get to apologize for ruining their life, for doing something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
This is not that show. This is the show where you get a great guy like Jeff on the show, and you ask him these rude questions that nobody would dare ask somebody.
Gotcha.
And so we're going to start off with less rude and get progressively more rude, okay?
Sounds great.
So, Jeff, how long has Boom Mobile been in business?
So Boom Mobile's been in business for 4 years. Parent company 23.
Okay, so Boom Mobile has, and is it how do you is it Boom? Is it you capitalize the B in Boom or is it lowercase?
Lowercase,
Why?
just to be different.
Okay,
Trademark.
where did you start this company?
Bartlesville, Oklahoma.
Okay, Bartlesville, Oklahoma.
That's where I started life.
Really?
Yeah.
That's where Paul Hood lived.
So you have so Boom Mobile was starting in how many years ago?
4.
Okay, and how did you start the company? How did you go about building this business?
So that would have to start from the beginning of the 23 years. It's just always been in communications. So we've always offered a product to a consumer that they could pick up at a lower cost price than paying any of the, say, Fortune 100 companies.
So you, how did you get the money needed to start the company?
Hey, great question. So early on was hawking everything that I had in order to get a bank loan to trust me well enough to go off and start our business 23 years ago.
Really?
Yes.
And what did you ever share what the parent company's name is, and why did you decide to change the name?
So the parent company is Enhanced Communications Group. It
Okay.
goes by ECG. And the change of the name is just a branding from the mobile phone service to it was a change of it was a wave of change for us. So ECG was something that was a legacy business, and then Boom Mobile was something that was going forward.
So you funded it by just bootstrapping. I mean, every dollar you had.
Absolutely.
No bank loans.
In the very beginning, yes.
What
$25,000.
What kind of things did you have to go without to fund the company? What kind of stuff? Were you eating ramen noodles? Were you not eating at all? Did you have to sell an organ? What did you do?
So my wife and I, we joke about this often. It was my first year in business. We made $11,000.
Whoa.
So $7,000 of that was in November and December of that year. So we spent a lot of time eating ramen noodles. We spent a lot of time macaroni and cheese, and I guess our gift to each other was when we finally paid down a credit card payment enough of the minimum payments that we had enough to actually go out and get a meal that we could split.
So you guys earned $11,000 the entire first year.
Correct.
And I want everybody out there listening who can relate to this story to know this is how it always starts. So let's just make sure we're getting some context here. We all know the story of FedEx, but a lot of people don't know that FedEx did not make a profit for over a decade. We all know the name ESPN, but very few people know that ESPN did not make a profit for over 10 years. We all know Amazon, but very few people know that Amazon did not post a profit for 10 years. We all know of Tesla, but we all maybe don't know that they did not make a profit for over 10 years. Somebody should write that down. Because we were competing with the ghosts of magazine covers that aren't real. Everybody out there who owns a business is trying to build a profitable company in a matter of weeks or days or months, when in fact that's not possible. Breck, how long did it take you to achieve a level of financial success that you thought was at least respectable and or decent for having been a chiropractor who went to school for 7 years to do what you do? How long did it take you before you thought, okay, I'm finally earning a decent amount of money?
Pretty much a solid 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. It could have been shorter, but I was slow to learn.
So
slow to implement things that I had learned even.
So Jeff, how long did it take you to build Boom to a level where you thought, okay, this company's actually going to last and is actually going to be here for the foreseeable future?
So ours turned around pretty quick. In our second year, we started doing fairly well.
That's amazing.
Until we ended up with a roadblock and a hiccup that happened, and it kind of reset everything for us our third year in. And then from that, it took us another year to recover.
What kind of roadblock did you run into?
So when we first launched the business, we launched it as agents. So in other words, it'd be like if you would think of an insurance agent has multiple providers they could go out and sell to a consumer, and they're going to get paid a commission off of that. That's the way we started the business originally. The company that we had built their business for, we had got to the point where we were about $250,000 a month in commission revenue from one particular company. They just cut us off completely.
Why?
1 day notice, no notice. Told us to go ahead and take them to court. They're going to use our money to battle us, and good luck. And so through attorney advice, being young, being dumb, We just let them ride with it. We were told that, if we went after them, they're just going to file for bankruptcy, and we throw in good money after bad money, and didn't chase it.
So you've had your share of battles.
For sure.
So now you've been in business for 20+ years, 4 years as Boom Mobile. How do you make any money? And now the rude questions start. I mean, how do you make money? If Breck decides to switch to you, how do you make money?
Okay, so there's a couple of different reasons. This is a common question we get often. The main reason why we and how we make money and how we can do it for a consumer is the consumer is just one person. And so when you're going to AT&T, you're going as one person. When I go to AT&T, I go carrying 40,000, 60,000, 80,000 people. And so they're going to give me a better price than they're going to give you as an individual. Number one answer. Number two answer to that is the fact that they have a stock market price, and they have to adhere to what drives their stock. They can't drive down. They have budgets. They have every large company is too fat within themselves, and so they have to do something to drive that stock price.
So Paul Hood, the CPA, has bona fide you and has told me you're not crazy.
Ooh,
but
hey, that's a good endorsement.
No, but there's people out there that have got to be thinking it's crazy. And Jason Beasley is going to come on here and just assault you with rough questions, okay? And Beasley, who are you? Who's your phone carrier? Who do you have? T-Mobile. We got T-Mobile. I got T-Mobile. You got T-Mobile. What do you spend per month on your phone bill, Jason?
Oh, God, just for me and my wife.
Yeah, let's see here.
$160.
$160. Okay, so $160. So let's go with it here. Steve,
Yep.
you're sitting down right now with Jeff. This is a one-on-one. It's a sales pitch, okay? He's cornered you.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, he's meeting with you. Seriously, and he's meeting with you, and you're with AT&T and T-Mobile, right? Is that right?
Verizon and T-Mobile.
Verizon, T-Mobile.
But let's say I wanted to move my T-Mobile line over to you. I've got an iPhone 10. Can I do that?
Absolutely.
Do I need the mini SIM or the small SIM or the large SIM? I noticed on your website you could pick which SIM you want.
Right. And so you would have the nano SIM.
The nano SIM.
Yes.
Okay, that's what it would be called. So if I switch that over, I noticed on your plans, because I actually do use this as a secondary phone, so you could probably do, you have a bunch of different plans.
We do. So we try to make it very easy for the consumer to pick something that fits their needs. So the misconception for all consumers is none of you actually know what you use.
Right.
You all think that you know what you use.
Well, I'll say this on behalf of team. We'll call it Team Beavis. I have no idea what I use.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'll go there. I'll say that. In fact, I give you 1 mega point. So I guess what I worry about, and I'm just trying to understand this, is if Steve were to switch over from T-Mobile. Let's just say he's paying $150 a month per line for T-Mobile. Can he actually save money with you? How much money can he save?
Absolutely. So it all depends on what he's using. So we would analyze. He would send his bill to us. We'd analyze it and say, this is the plan that fits best for you. How do you feel about it? And this is your cost.
How much money can he save as a
That'll be
percentage on
determined
average?
Oh, do you know how much average you save people?
Well, and that's what I'm – so, yes. You're going to save at least, say, $500 a year.
Okay.
And if he reduces his costs by $500, how much do you make, Jeff?
I'll range anywhere from 20 to 40%.
So you're going to make 20 to 40% of his savings, or
Yes.
how does that work?
No, of the total bill.
So if his bill, let's say his bill, you
So
you
if my
drop
bill was
it.
$1,000 a month, he might make $300.
So if you reduced his bill from $150 a month realistically to how much could he reduce it to? Do you think?
Well, if it's
On
just,
average.
if it's just one line and he's just using it as
Yeah.
a backup line, I could take that bill down to $25.
What?
Well, that's what I was
Because it's
saying,
based on the usage.
Because on your site you have so many different plans. Like if you only wanted data, if you didn't want to use it as a phone, if you only wanted a certain number of megabytes, because
Highly
I only turn it on
customizable.
certain days. Yeah.
Right. So
I want to make sure I get
so that
this.
would be like $150 a month. But he would also only make, $5 a month from my.
But I mean, realistically, if you're sitting down with Steve today and he's paying $150 a month, you're saying you can reduce it to how much per month?
again, if we're talking just the one line,
Yeah.
it's $25.
Okay, but what happens if like the usage changes?
So it depends on what his usage profile looks like.
Mm-hmm.
If it's talk and text, that doesn't matter.
Okay.
The only thing that really drives anything for any of the companies is the data. And so it depends on how much data he's going to continue to use.
So if he uses
So his teenager gets a hold of his phone and starts just doing crazy stuff with data, then what happens?
It'll cut it off at whatever limit we set it at.
Oh, okay. So then it just stops working.
Correct.
Okay.
I watch a lot of online videos, car stuff.
But if
I
he
know
want, if he
come on,
wanted to
guys.
keep the same package he has and switch it,
I would have to know what that package is to give you the cost for it.
You
let's
have
just
to,
say-
wait, you'd have to, hey, you'd have to see my package.
Holy cow!
Hold on. Hey, you said we were going to get into it like
One-on-one,
you and
right?
Dr. Z. I didn't know we were
There's
going
no
to.
recovery from that.
all right. So if you
It's gonna
want to,
cost less.
if you want to get, let's just say Steve had $150 a month bill, and he wants to keep the exact same services.
So
And he
unlimited
switches.
talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Do
Yeah,
you
how
have
much
something
would
like
it
that?
be per month? How much could he save per month on average?
So on both lines, if we did unlimited talk, text, and data, I mean, he's going to save probably $25 to $30 a month.
Okay, so now he saves $25 to $30 a month. That's $360 a year he saves. But now he's paying like $120 a month, right? So he's paying $120 a month, and there's 12 months in a year. So his total phone bill is $1,440,
Correct.
and you're going to make what percentage of that approximately?
He said 20 to 40.
Yep.
Let's just say conservatively 30%. So you're going to make $432 a year by helping him save money.
Correct.
And have you done this with thousands of customers?
Absolutely.
And the service doesn't change at all, right? I mean, because he's got
I looked at their coverage.
T-Mobile and Verizon, but I mean, he's
Is
going to
that-
have the consistent same service that he's
Is
used
that
to.
what determines the blue, the pink, and the? Because as far as the coverage plans go,
There's just
Yeah, we're bound by contract not to use
blue, red, and pink.
Yeah, not
The
to use
logos.
There's
their
got-
logos or names.
There's got to be. There's just got to be. There's somebody out there, and somebody out there, Brecky, they think like me, and they're going, this just sounds too good
so
to be
what's
true.
crazy
So
to me,
boom,
Clay,
red.
is
Uh-huh.
yeah. So what's crazy to me is it sounds like adding the middleman actually saves you money rather than costing more money by
Adding-
putting a middleman in the middle,
Can I call you at 8 p.m. on Sunday and be like, dude, my phone's not working?
which
We-
is
I do have a person that I've hired for that.
Oh, good for you. All right. Good.
So you can save people legitimately a lot of money.
Let's just put it this way: for 23 years, I've made money by saving people pennies.
So if my phone quits working, like Steve just pointed out, okay, I can't make my phone work. I can't figure it out. Oh, I can't figure. Where do I go now?
We have 24/7 customer service and a 24-hour hotline.
So we can call somebody for help.
Absolutely.
and if you own a business and you have like multiple lines, you could save us even more.
Absolutely.
I just the problem I have, the problem I'm having a hard time resolving this issue, is it seems like a good deal, and whenever I have a good deal, a deal that sounds good, I usually will get out a box fan and do this for hours before pulling the trigger because I already have a box
I
fan.
haven't heard that entire thing
That's-
before.
and that's
Usually
cheap.
you cut it off before.
No, because normally when a deal sounds hot,
Mm-hmm.
you think it's a good move, so you make the move, and then it costs you a lot later.
I've done that before.
We've
Yeah.
all done
Yeah.
that before.
It
So,
looked
so
good.
Steve,
Not so
ask
good.
Jeff the question. There's got to be listeners out there who are going, "This sounds like a bunch of crap. I don't believe this." There's got to be Steve.
Where's
you
the
have
back end
Which,
catch?
where's the catch?
Which is why on our site we offer 30 days for free. Come try us out. See that the service doesn't change. See that you get what you get, and you'll be happy with it.
Do you have references, real customers?
Absolutely.
So if somebody
Check
says,
our Google reviews.
if somebody says, I want to get references, you got Google reviews,
What's the website?
Boom.us.
boom.us.
Yeah,
Clay, you got to like that on off the cuff.
No, I love it. I just, the thing is, my job on this show is to make sure that none of our listeners get pitched crap.
Absolutely.
Period. And so recently we've had the founder of Square reach out to us to be on the show. I use Square. It's great. Recently we've had the founder of Netflix reach out to be on the show. We've all used Netflix. They're good stuff. But we've all listened to a podcast before where they've had a guest on. I'm sure you've seen this, Jason, where you're like, that product is crap. So I'm going to have Jason steal Steve's mic for a second. And Jason, you can ask Jeff any questions that you would like to ask him and just try to poke holes through his argument. Because yes, he's been verified by Paul Hood. But maybe it's an Illuminati conspiracy. Maybe Paul Hood, the CPA, has an Illuminati conspiracy.
Are you guys related, you and Paul Hood?
We are not.
Okay, Jeff.
You have the same
Jason,
hairline.
what question would you have for Jeff?
So, and we actually kind of talked about this before in the past, but let's say I decide to switch. Now, am I only doing service, or do you guys also offer devices, because like one of the big things that drew me to T-Mobile, I've been there for probably 10 years. It's like I got my first phone there, and they always say, Mr. Beasley, thank you so much for being such a long-time customer.
Here we go.
Even though
No,
they
this is
don't
good.
really appreciate it.
No, I know they do. This is good. This is good.
But one of the things that drew me over to them was, of course, I was a broke high school kid who needed a phone.
There we
So
go.
they were like, hey, we're going to give you this device. You pay monthly installments on
That's
that,
right.
and then you're also going to pay for the service.
That's right.
And they offered me unlimited text and everything. I stream a podcast and music. I stream dozens of podcasts and music daily.
Yep.
So once I hit that cap on the unlimited, I get a notification saying, hey, you've actually reached your data limit, so we're going to slow it down. I couldn't do anything after that but, call and text. So I reach out to him. I'm like, hey, it said unlimited, and you cut me off at something like 850 megabytes?
Ooh.
What am I paying for? And they're walking through all this jargon, and when I left, I had no idea what they had said. So when it comes to the actual plan itself, like when you guys say unlimited, what does unlimited really, dictate?
Absolutely. Good. Great question, because every major provider has been fined because of their use of unlimited. And so they view unlimited as, yes, you have high-speed data, and then you have throttled, what they call throttled data. Yeah. And so as soon as you get throttled, it's still unlimited. You can only pull email or maybe get a text message, but you're not going to surf the web. So to them, it was still unlimited. And so they sell that as an unlimited package. We try to stay away from that, just from the fact that I want to be I only have one unlimited package.
Okay.
I don't get into and I will tell you, at 30 gigs, it does have the potential to get throttled. It just depends on what area of the city that you're in, depends on what city you're in, and it depends on the network congestion on whether the provider actually chooses to throttle you or not.
Okay.
And so, and again, a great question. Most people don't understand the unlimited differences. AT&T has a package out right now on their retail site for, I don't know, $35 or $40, and it starts out throttled, but it says unlimited data.
Aha.
And so it just, it sinks you. It brings a little hook in, and they get you on the device. So they no longer do 2-year contracts for service. They do it on the device.
Yep.
Because they know if they get you on the device, and they're going to get you on the service.
The whole problem I have is this feels to me. My wife and I one time went to Vegas, and they said to me, the guys, they said, here's the deal. If you take a timeshare tour for an hour, I remember this story. For an hour, you get unlimited. You get to take a show tickets. You can go see 2 or 3 shows tonight. An unlimited buffet. And I said, okay, sure. So I went on the 6-hour, 1-hour tour.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Where Guido and every high-pressure salesperson conspired to try to get me to buy something. And then they gave me tickets to an off-the-strip.
4 streets off the strip.
Bad show with a terrible buffet. It just feels too good right now.
You can eat all you want as long as you want salmonella.
Yeah, it feels too good. Jason, what other rude questions do you have for Jeff? Because you got to ask. There's got to be a listener out there who wants to know these things, and you could say mean things. Go for it.
I don't know if I necessarily have mean things. It's just things that I've never understood. So another thing, I used to have a client in Australia, and so I have a package that says, hey, you can call wherever you want. I call him for the very first call. The next day, I get a charge and a call from T-Mobile saying, hey, you owe us $250.
What, for that one call?
It was our initial meeting.
Jeez.
His free meeting cost me $250. So I call him like, guys, I typically try not to swear at industry people who, run what the services that I am a consumer of, but what the F is going on? You immediately dinged my account without asking me. Then you warned me not to do it again. I didn't know that this was something that I couldn't do. It's like the Dave Chappelle thing. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I didn't know I couldn't do that. Well, in this case, I honestly didn't know. So they're like, well, if you looked through your contract, which nobody does,
right?
They said, okay, well, if you're calling up to a certain distance or certain countries, it applies.
If you look through the 8-point font, 12-page contract, sir.
Exactly. But nowhere does it say, hey, if you call this specific country,
you
going
call
to be
Sydney
charged.
after 7 p.m.
So you found a loop. You're going to catch Jeff now. You're going to catch him.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Fine print.
But yeah, so essentially what this said was there are certain places that you can call to where you will only incur some sort of roaming fee or whatever, but they never specifically said, hey, if you call from the U.S. to Australia, you're going to get charged X amount plus. So when it comes to the services you guys offer, how far does that go? And is that based off of the carriers that you are providing people?
Sure. So all 3 carriers act a little differently. but none of them give you international coverage unless you specifically add it to your account before you do it.
Gotcha.
None of them share that with you just because it's a thought process that you should – they act like you should know that. Like, hey, yes, it's unlimited calling. Yes, you could do all of this, but don't call there. So we make sure that all of our customers are aware, hey, this is a U.S. service. There is no international coverage unless you add international coverage. Now, AT&T likes to play with the fact that you can call Mexico and Canada a part of their package. So we have that as part of our package. We make it clear that it's a part of our package, that you can that Canada and Mexico is part of your calling district.
So it's a North American package.
Yeah, correct. But I will tell you that now T-Mobile should have and AT&T would have.
Yeah.
But T-Mobile's a little bit more of an emotional carrier. But what I will tell you is that if you were to make that call and you call up to T-Mobile and say, hey, can I add an international package, they'll actually go back and backdate it, just charge you for the international package, and you wouldn't have paid the $250.
Wow, that didn't
But they will not offer you that over the phone, though.
Yeah, I paid the bill, and then the lady said, oh, so you can actually – so what we can do is now that this is paid, we can add the international, and then it's only going to be like 8 or 10 or whatever for the call. It didn't matter like the length of it. It was just – it was basically the price to call out. So
correct.
Just the access.
Right.
You pay it, yeah.
Okay, I have a final couple of thoughts here before we wrap up today's show. I, full disclosure, am not using Boom Mobile. Paul Hood, the CPA who joins us on the show about once every couple weeks, he says I should check him out. So in the coming weeks, my wife shall be meeting with Jeff to go over various phone packages, and we shall see if we get screwed. Because if we get screwed, we shall talk about it. Now, if we save money, we shall talk about it. But I would say that if you're out there today and you want to see for yourself if Boom Mobile can save you money, what's the website? What's the web address? How do we learn more?
Yeah, sure. Just go to www.boom.us. Feel free to call us. There's a chat live button on there as well. And again, how difficult is it to try something for free? We have an opportunity on the website for you to try us out, to show you that we stand behind what we say we can do.
So we can compare and save by going to www.boom.us.
That is correct.
And if somebody, because a phone's an important thing, we don't want our phone to be turned off. We don't want to screw with it. If somebody wants references or wants to read Google reviews, you have those readily available.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to Google right now. I'm going to Google search right now. Boom US Mobile. I'm doing that right now. Boom US Mobile. I see right now. Okay. I see some reviews. I see it. Okay. Currington, I'm going to let you wrap up today's show by fire your final shot across the bow. Dr. Breck, feel free as well.
You've got the 30-day free trial. There's not a time like 6 months later that, the price goes up. Correct?
No. So the great thing about our service is we're month to month. We have to earn your business every month.
Okay.
And so if you decide that one month that you're not liking us and that you see something else you want to go try out, feel free.
And then going back to like a previous provider, like how would that happen if somebody decided they didn't? I mean, do they lose their opportunity with AT&T or with Verizon as far as now they just have to shop the market?
Yeah, so it's really easy coming to and going from. As long as you have the right information, which is your account number and your PIN number, you can leave and go from any provider very easily.
So my last question is just about the service providers, the three that you're representing. Why do they want to do business with you rather than me individually?
Great question. It's just I bring more customers to the table than you do as an individual.
Ha ha.
So you're saying that you have more buying power because you're going to bring maybe 10,000 customers?
Absolutely.
Okay. Steve, you've got to have a tough question. You're a skeptic. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a skeptic. There's got to be one more question.
I would just say the biggest pain in the
arse.
You know what?
Yeah.
Is the switching over. Because anytime I have to do it, it's like I've been very close to murdering.
But murdering is illegal in Oklahoma, and you
which is why I
state
did
laws,
it.
and you did not do it.
Which is why I didn't.
If you looked at the laws and you knew that
you know
was a
what I
violation,
mean?
you knew you couldn't do that.
A lot of people aren't changing because they don't want to go through the hassle of it. It's the same reason why you don't change CPAs.
So how big of a how big of a Hasselhoff is it? I guess is the question, right?
Well, it's no hassle for you because you don't even care about your phone, and Vanessa does it. But I'm just saying, for me, I'm the person that has to do that in my family to switch everybody
Oh,
over. So how do you guys streamline that process? Is it going to take 9 hours? Can I do it from my home? Do I have to physically be there? Do you send me the?
That's right. How difficult is it to switch? We demand answers. Right?
Yeah.
We're protesters.
Who is that guy? Where did he come
After
from?
we stop
He just
protesting
came off the railroads in Canada.
Canada. I've been in Canada all day protesting the railroads. So I'm an idiot. I'm a socialist. Back to you, Jeff.
Thank you. Hey, so anyways, the process of switching is fairly easy. You can either come into the office, we can take care of it all, and it's done within 15, 20 minutes, or we can send you out everything that you need. We can and we send it out in a beautiful package with a beautiful letter that tells you it's already all set up, ready for delayed activation. You go onto the website, activate.boom.us. You type in the information that's in your package, and the card's activated, and you put it in your phone, and you're good to go.
What about switching over data from one phone to another?
So you're talking about moving contacts and stuff to that nature.
Contacts, pictures, that kind of thing.
So if you're an iPhone user, you're obviously going to use your iCloud. So you back up your iCloud.
What if you hate iCloud because you don't want to pay Apple? They're stupid little sons of what freaking. You've already used all your megabytes. I back up to a laptop. So do you just plug it in and back it up? And
Absolutely.
Switch it.
Yep.
Okay. Because that's the biggest pain is you go into the Verizon, but I go into the Verizon store and they're like, oh yeah, we can just switch it, and they hook some cord up to this and then cord up to that. And they're like, it's really not working. You must have a lot of contacts. I'm like, well, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Have a lot.
It's
of
happened to
contacts.
me every time I've ever had to switch phones.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's like you're standing there for 3 hours. Meanwhile,
The guys at T-Mobile
supposed to
have
take
been nice
4
to me
minutes.
recently, but I had to leave it there for like 6 hours or something.
Yeah.
So that's probably our most common drawback is everybody else's experience with the big guys.
Yeah.
And how much pain that they cause. I think they do it on purpose in order for them not to want to switch again.
yeah,
And so, I mean, I think that's
they don't want to go through that pain, so they're like, I told them.
Breck, you have an unresolved question.
I
over
still
there.
do. Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
So
here we go.
mine's on the device. So I've got an iPhone 10. My wife has an
Dang,
11.
bro.
I know. Got to take care of the lady. Yeah. But AT&T still owns it for another 5 years. So do I get to bring that? I'm paying a monthly for. It's like a car payment. Do I get to bring that phone with me? Do I have to switch devices? How does that work?
Yeah, so typically what we tell the customer on that situation is they have to pay off that device if it's with anybody other than AT&T. If it's with AT&T, I can actually bring that device over and bring that payment over and continue to allow you to still make that payment.
But I'd have to still use an AT&T package within your services.
That is correct. No,
I couldn't switch to T-Mobile?
No.
Or no, I could.
You could.
Okay.
Because, again, the beauty of our service is that you can have each of your family members on a different service provider and have one bill.
Oh, yeah. That's the move right there.
So, Steve, now you have two people you got to deal with. You got to deal with T-Mobile and Verizon.
Because I switched to Verizon a long time ago, and I want to switch back to AT&T for my main line. I've thought about doing that, but then my wife, who doesn't travel with her phone, I like Verizon. I'm like, why? Like what? What for what? Explain to me the benefits.
My friend
Love you,
has it.
Sally. But it's like, get out of here.
It's a one-sided argument. She's not here to defend herself. All right.
So
Well,
there you go.
I'm
Steve's
gonna
going to
call
have
her right now.
Steve's going to have three providers. He's going to have Verizon. He's going to have AT&T and T-Mobile and one provider. Boom.
And you know what? You should, because if you've ever been like anywhere where your phone doesn't freaking work, like for example, right here in the box of
Yes.
rocks,
Or
the
at my house.
AT&T phones don't work. Like when I had Sprint, I used to say my house was Sprint proof because you could walk in the door, drop the call, done.
Same.
And it was just like,
let me do
that's
this.
how it
Let me
goes.
do
Call it
this.
the black
Sprint
hole of cell
sucks.
reception.
I want to give the listeners out there tips for winning a debate with their wives.
Tip
Tip number one: make sure she's not present when presenting the arguments. And here's one of our final tips. We have 10 tips. We don't have time for all of the tips.
Right.
We have time for just a few of the tips. Let me just kind of skip to another one of the highlight tips here.
Probably my best tip is tip number 8. Always keep bags of your own poop. Collect it throughout your stay and just have it ready.
Oh my God, I love him.
That's how you win.
Hey, I do have one question. Is there like, because I've asked all the big providers this before.
Yeah.
Like, I want my phone to work like always, and I'll pay more. So don't they have like a super premium plan where you throttle Jason and Clay and Dr. Breck, but you don't throttle me and I get priority? Because I know those execs at AT&T and Verizon have it. I guarantee you their phone works every single
Anywhere,
damn time.
all.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is there like a super like awesome plan where you can pay triple what everybody else pays, but you like have
We'll call it the
Never drop a
Trump-tastic
call.
plan. The
Yeah.
Trump-tastic plan.
I'm not even worried about dropping a call. I'm just saying like I'm a super heavy user on the phone.
You want to
So,
be
like,
spelunking deep inside a cave and be able to take a call from the president.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
yeah, because he calls me when I'm in caves.
So the short answer to that is no.
Oh.
There's not. Now I will tell you,
You kill people's dreams, Jeff.
but I will tell you, you're probably absolutely correct about the AT&T and Verizon Zex having a plan. I myself can have a plan on my service that I can just use all the data that I freaking want at any speed that I want and not have to worry about whatever bill comes across.
Okay.
But that's not something I would offer to a consumer.
Well, I'm not a consumer, Jeff. I'm your lender.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I have to talk offline.
I'll tell you, if you're out there today and you're considering boom.us, that's www.boom.us, I 100% don't endorse it, and I also don't not endorse it. I'm on the fence. I'm just saying to you, check it out. It's been verified and bona fide by Paul Hood. He says, great company. Now, Paul so far has never recommended to me anything that's not good.
Oh,
But
he recommended me.
But it is my duty as the host of this show to believe that everybody all the time, including myself, is a scammer, which is why I cite everything I say. That way we can always verify. So check them out. Do your own research. That's boom.us. Jeff, thank you for being on the show and for
Appreciate
really
it.
allowing us to interrogate you. It's almost like a trial.
Yeah, it was great.
Cannot wait to do this on
If
the
this
weekly.
was a real government trial, this would have taken like 18 hours.
We'll go ahead and call our 43rd witness. Okay, great. Now we're going to
Point of order.
And we like to end each and every show with a boom. So here we go. 3, 2, 1.